Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Michelle Adamas, and I'm the owner of Vintage Revival Design Co. And we are live on Roycycled Treasures and my page and YouTube. So if you pop on here, I would love it if you would say hello. Let me know where you're watching from, and be sure to ask your questions as we go along. I am going to make sure that I think I am live. Yes. Okay. So, again, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from and ask your questions as we go along. We are going to be working with one of the new release holiday papers today that I haven't had a chance to use yet. And I'm really excited about it. So, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. And oh my goodness, Shannon, hello. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Let's do this. Let me pull up this and switch. And we have Doris here from North Carolina. Thank you so much, Shannon. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Tommy. I think it's Tammy or Tommy. I hope I'm saying that correctly. So, anyway, today we're going to do a fun project. We're going to be using the cloche stencil, and we're going to be using the winter blocks paper. And I am in love with these images, and you can see that when Royce told us that they fit perfectly in the globe and the cloche, I was very, very excited to use that. I have been trying to decide if I want to use the beautiful owl or if I want to use this little house here. And I'm kind of thinking I'm going to end up using them all, but I thought that I would use, I don't know. I don't want to, I know that there's a little bit of delay. So you guys let me know, should we do the owl or should we do this beautiful little cabin scene? And I'll say hello while I'm waiting for somebody to vote. We have Tracy and we have Eva and we have Royce. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm trying to decide. So I'll give it just a second and see what you think. But I can at least go ahead and cut both of these out, and we can get started with that. So it's either the owl or it's going to be this, and they fit just beautifully in the globe. So I am very, very excited about this. I'm just going to cut these out. So we are going to be doing, we're going to jazz these up a little bit. They're beautiful, and we're going to be using some German glass glitter, as well as some metallics and all of that. So I'm very, very excited to see how it turns out. Let me just cut these two out. These are the two. And like I said, I'll be doing these projects with each of these blocks. The block papers are so awesome because you can just get so many different projects out of them, right? So we have 6 images on this one sheet, and they're all beautiful. So I'm going to just set these aside. I have a little fan on, so it's blowing my papers a little bit. So let me see if we got a vote for anything. So the cabin, the owl, and I'm not sure, the owl and cabin. So we have 3 for the cabin. And so I'm going to go ahead and go with the cabin. So I'll be sure to show you what I do with the owl, but let's go ahead and go with this cabin. Okay. And there we go. It's just beautiful. So let's talk about the background a little bit and what I'm working on. I am just working on a 12 by 12 piece of chipboard, and I have gone ahead and done the painted finish on this, and this will be in the longer video that I share. But I wanted to bring out some of the colors in the paper, and I did a bone. So I did a little cracked patina on this and painted with Wise Owl colors underneath in Abyss and Nessie, and then did my cracked patina and my bone, and now I'm ready to work. So the first thing that I want to do, I'm going to set this aside, and I am going to go ahead and kind of mark off where I want this to go. I'm going to come up a little bit here. I've got a little static in this, and I want to get this image in here, and it's just so beautiful. And so I could have gone with the white edges, but I want to get as much of this in here as possible. And I'm going to be treating this part as part of the glass globe, and we're going to do something different with this. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm using a metallic paint. This is, you could use any silver, anything. I really kind of want to give the base of the globe a little bit of a distressed finish, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And so I'm going to just take a tiny bit. You could use silver, a gray, anything that you want. And I've got a little brush here, so I'm going to dab a little bit in here and just kind of tap off. And I'm just going to use my brush because I just want to go around the outside of my globe. And this is pretty sparkly. And again, I'm not going here because I'm going to leave that in the area. So I have gone a little far to one side, but we're going to make that work, okay? So I'm just going to come in here and then I'll line it up again. But right now what I'm going to do is, even though that's a little bit wet, I'm going to set that aside and just cut around that edge right there. And then we're going to line up our stencil again. So I'm just going to come here and cut around this, wet cut it. It's not the best idea to use your scissors on wet paint, but that's okay. We're going to be lining up the stencil again, but I did want to give it, I just thought the silvery, this is really more of a pewter color. It's discontinued. Some retailers have a little bit left. It's called Mercury. It's by Wise Owl. We'll also be using the pearl paint, which is available. Let's see what we've got here. So I'm just going to cut to here. And then I'm probably going to want to cut right down to about here. And then I'm just going to line that up again and see. There's a method to my madness, but I'm sure that it doesn't seem like it right now. Okay. And so I'm just going to kind of set this in place. That is just the most beautiful image. I just love it. So I'm going to set this down and kind of line up where I went, right? And I am going to be good. All right. So what I want to do next is I want to go ahead and decoupage this onto my surface. And I'm going to come up here. I actually have a frame already that this is going to go in. And so I know that I'm going to need to leave a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch. So I want to be careful here. And I'm going to do this. So I'm going to be using my 1 hour enamel clear coat to decoupage this onto my board. And I am going to use a little bit of plastic wrap. I'm going to spritz my paper just a little bit because I've got these creases in it, and hopefully I won't wet my paint too much. I'm just going to mist. I don't want my paint to run, I guess. So I'm going to dry that off just a little bit, just to be sure that that paint is dry enough for me to decoupage on. I don't know if this is making sense, you guys. And I dried my water and everything. So let me just feel that. I can go ahead and decoupage over that. So I'm going to get a little bit of plastic wrap, and we'll do that. And so at least we have people that are happy with the cabin. I think that owl's beautiful too, but thank you so much for voting because it really helps. All right, I am going to go ahead and start. I want to make sure he's kind of straight. Okay. And I'm going to just go ahead and start up here. And I'm going to lay down. I'm going to kind of push my brush in a little bit because I have created some texture with the cracked patina. And so I'm just going to take a little plastic wrap. Let me see if I can get this little bit of a wrinkle. Getting some wrinkles here, and that's because of the crack. It's because of all the texture. And that's okay because we're gonna work with that. So that'll be okay. So I'm gonna lift up a little bit right here, not too far back. And we're going to go here, and then I'll work my way up. I want to make sure that I'm getting enough medium on here so that good coverage, but it's not so thick that it's going to tear my paper. Okay, almost done with this part. Love, love, love this paper. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. I'm just gonna go with that. Push out. Most of my little wrinkles are gonna work themselves out. I've got a little that isn't here. The edges are always the hardest to get, and they're so important, right? Okay, let me lay my stencil down again, make sure I don't have to cut anywhere. So I've got a little bit that I'm going to need to cut, but I think okay, let me see what I've got. Let me get the rest of this before I put it down. I want to kind of come in here a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. I want to make sure I'm cutting in the right places. Okay. So with my wet paint and everything, we can go over that. Okay. I don't want those harsh areas to be sticking out. I can work around some of it, but not all of it. Okay, dry that really quick. Okay, are you still with me? Just dry enough that I can put that in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the rest of this down. Somewhere it's lifting up here. Okay, and got a little tension here. And I'm going to go here. And I'll show you why. I was kind of doing this in pieces a little bit. Okay, this part isn't down over here. I want to check all of that. That's where I was a little short on my paper. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to lay this down again, line it up with what we did. That is pretty good. Okay, and we're going to take our paint again. And I decided I am going to go with that little bit over here, but I don't want So I'm coming down here. And I'm going to I love this little makeup brush. Okay, I'm going to leave this in place. Well, I'll have to line it up again because I need to dry it. Dries pretty quickly with the heat tool. Now what I want to do is I want to line this up again. And I'm going to use some cracked patina over our silver so that when I apply the pearl, a little bit of that is going to show through. So cracked patina is just it is a cracking medium. It allows you to give a little bit of lift, which you'll see. And I just really, really love it. So I've got a little bit of a sponge and I'm putting some on and I'm going to hold this down and I'm just going to dab, trying not to go over, not going everywhere, but I want this silver part to be a little distressed. You can apply this with a brush. You want to let it set up a little bit, but we're going to speed it up with a dryer. And I'm just dabbing, okay? Pull that off. Speed that up with my dryer. And then we're going to lay down the stencil one more time. And then we'll get to all the decorating. And hi, Jolene and Linda and Kara. If I didn't say hello, hello. And hi, Deidre. So nice to see you. So I'm speeding this up with the dryer. And I'll have to lay something down on top of all of this when I'm done just to get that board flat. I didn't tape it down because I wanted to be able to move it. I'm going to pick up some of this. I want it to be just a little tacky, but not too bad. Okay. All right, I think it's good enough. So I'm just going to bend my board a little bit. I can heat the other side and that should straighten it out a little bit. But let's go right here. I'm going to line this up again. One more time. Just like this. And I'm going to take a clean brush. And now I'm going to take the pearl metallic paint and we're going to go over this. So hi, Debbie. How are you? Thanks for joining. So I'm taking the pearl metallic and I'm going to first, I need a little, I'm going to wipe this back a little bit. And I'm going to go over this. It's very sheer. Just rubbing that. And here is where I will go down into here. It gives it the prettiest shimmer. Come down here and hold. It'll just give it some nice contrast, which I think will be really pretty. Did I get everywhere I wanted to go? I think I did. So we've got, that is a little bit less prominent. Set this aside, put this on. I'm just going to clean up a little bit over here with my brush. I don't mind if it goes a little bit over. Into here. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to paint in this in the white, and we're going to add a little something to that, but I want to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to paint this out in white in the pearl metallic, and we're going to add something to it. Doesn't have to be a full coverage, but I do love the sparkle. And as far as the German glass glitter goes, I swear every year I'm going to avoid anything with glitter. And then what do? I glitter. So I've got a little bit in here, but I think we're going to be able to fix that. So I'm just going to come in here. And I'm going to get a little bit. So what I can do is I can lift up, and even some plastic wrap where the cracked patina was, and I'll show you that in a second. I'm just going to come up here, add a little bit more here. It just gives such a pretty, effect. I'm going to just take my plastic wrap where I was. I'm just going to lift up in some areas. And I just dabbed the cracked patina on. And so it's going to lift in some areas and give us that really nice distressed effect. You can also do this with a brush, but it's just going to let some of that silver show through in even more areas. I just wanted that to be really distressed. So now in this area, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of 1 hour enamel clear coat just over the globe part. This part doesn't need to be sealed, but I'm going to, for right now, I'm just going to seal my paper. And then I will be using some diamond glaze when we are all done with this, but I'm just going to go ahead and seal it. And I've got an area that I can see is lifting on the other side. The diamond glaze will give it a glass effect. But I've got a little tiny bit, just a tiny bit right here that isn't down. So I want to kind of come under here and push that down. Okay, so now we've got that. Are you with me so far? So we've got, all right, so it's okay, but we're going to make it look better. So one of the things that I wanted to do was to use just a tiny bit of glass glitter. And this is German glass glitter. Let me set this aside too. This is a German glass glitter, and I picked out a few different colors. This one is a blue moon, and this is a light blue. And I just thought these colors were really pretty with any of them. I have a little silver, and then I have some white for snow. And I thought just because it was going to be in this globe that we would just make it sparkle. And so the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to just make sure that this is dry first. And hi, Cheryl, how are you from Deep Creek Vintage? And we have Donna, hi. You don't have to apologize for being late, because that's the beauty of replay, right? You don't have to stick around for all of it. You can always, and then you can even speed up the process and see what you want to see. But this is the part that I'm pretty excited about. I want to make sure that everything is dry so that there's nothing for the glitter to stick to other than where I'm going to place it. So I just want to be careful about that. I could have really just done this all in the silver too, I think. And I might go back and do that. Let me make sure everything is dry. So now I just want to turn this over, because if I heat the other side, it'll help to flatten it out just a little bit. It should anyway. It'll help flatten it a little bit. All right. So the German glass glitter is it's actual glass, and it is I've got several colors. I think I have 7 colors right now on my website. You would just go to vintagerevivaldesignco.com and go down the shop button, and you can see all the colors that I have. It's under German glass glitter. And so I thought that this green would be beautiful. I thought this blue moon would be gorgeous, and I especially love this this light blue. These are the fine glitters, so these are 90 grit. Okay, Lori, I'm glad you like it, because I was a little scared there for a minute. I thought this is turning into a mess, but I think it's going to be good. We have to just keep pushing through, right? And so I'm going to take I need a tiny brush, and I am going to be using this glass tack glue. This is specifically made for glass glitter, but honestly, I just think that your clear tacky gel would work, your tight bond would work, but this goes on white so that it's easier to see, as does the, oh my goodness, our tight bond. Our tight bond goes on white, but dries clear, and so does this. So I'm just going to put a little bit out on here, just a tiny bit is all I need. And what I'm going to do is, I think we're going to start up here with some of these blue greens. I think I'm going to do all the greens first. So I'm using this beautiful forest green color of the glass glitter. I have a tiny, tiny little spoon, and I'm going to use a piece of paper to get the rest of it. But first of all, what I want to do is I just want to paint some of this glue in the areas that I want that glitter to go. And I've got to work somewhat quickly so that it will stick. But I'm going to add some greens and some blues. And so what I'm going to do is take a tiny little bit, and it should only stick where the glue is. If I put enough glue down, it should stick. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, on a sheet of paper, because I don't want to waste any of my glitter, I'm going to take this. Oh gosh, hold on. Those are my mailing labels. I thought I grabbed printer paper. Oh, well, here's a piece of cardstock. So we've got some cardstock, right? And what I can do is go ahead and finish painting in the greens. And I can do some here, and you can add a little bit or a lot, but it's going to stick wherever you got your glue. So I know that this part is hard to see, but you'll be able to see it when I actually put it in. I just thought a snow globe could be, I guess I'm finally getting my snow globe that I wanted, just in a different way, right? And then I'll take my little spoon and I'll just sprinkle some out. It's kind of like embossing powder where it's only going to go where your Versamark is, and then you can pick up the rest of it and save it. Okay. And I'll just do a little bit over here and here. We'll just get we'll go one color at a time. I'm going to kind of come under here, just kind of where those darker areas are. And I'm just going randomly. I can always add more, but I won't be able to take it off. So I want to be careful about where I'm going with this. So let's get, and if I put enough glue, it's going to stick, but only where the tack is. Okay, so let's go ahead. Are you excited? Let's go ahead and get a look at what this is going to be like. I am going to put my little piece of paper under here and I'm going to shake this off. And then what I'm going to do is tap down into my cardstock. And so now you can see, I want you to be able to see the shimmer bits. I don't know if you can see. Let me know if you can see the shimmer bits. I'm having a hard time getting that on there. But now what I can do is take my glitter that is in here and I can go right over my jar and put it right back in the bin. So let's do a little bit of the blue because I'm really excited to see that. I hope that the shimmer bits are showing. It's just glass. Okay, so yes, you can see. Okay, awesome. I'm so glad. Because that would be awful to go through all of that and you couldn't see. All right, so I've got a little bit more of my glue and I think I want to use this light blue. I think would be really, really pretty. So let's do a little bit of that. Okay, this is the light blue. It's, again, they're 90 grit. It's a little bit, but it goes a long way as long as you're careful with it. So let's add a little bit of the light blue up in here. Right? So are you a glitter person? Let me know who likes glitter and who avoids it. Let me know. I say I'm not a glitter person, but then I always end up using the glitter. So I guess I'm more of a glitter person than I thought I was, right? All right, now what I'm hoping is that that tack is dry enough there and it's not gonna blend, but we're gonna see. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this. And so what I do like about the glass glitter is it doesn't blow away as easily as like the plastic glitters do. So I do like that. And you want to be careful. I wouldn't really, older kids, it would be okay, but I wouldn't, do this with little kids, right? Oh, okay. So you're not, but now you're going to try it. Okay. So now I'm going to shake this off again. And look how pretty that is with the blue. So now we've got the blue and we have the green, and it just adds the prettiest little bit of sparkle. And so I'm going to keep working a little bit with the blue. I'm going to go ahead and put this back in so I don't waste any. I need 2 hands here. Okay. But you can see, even though you're putting too much on, that you're not wasting it because you just have something to put this in and then it goes right back in. Okay. So let's do a little bit more blue. Then we'll do a little bit. I want to do some more green over here. I want to do some silver. And I've also got my snow glitter from another project. So I think we could work with a little bit, but I want to go a little bit at a time. I don't want to, cover the thing in glitter. I just want it to be a little bit, just some highlights, right? And I'm even just kind of tapping my brush. I'm not painting in the areas. Hi, Gunnar. Gunnar just came in from a walk. So I'm not covering up the beautiful paint really in all the areas. I'm just dabbing some in here, some glue. And again, I need to work a little slowly, and I'll come down here a little bit too. A little slowly so that I'm not letting that glue dry, if that makes sense. All right. We could even use a little bit of the blue moon. So I'm going here. I can see where my glue is because it's white. That's super helpful. Adding much more glitter than I'm going to need, but I'm not wasting it. And that's what's important. So I've got some over here. I have some up here. If you've ever used embossing powder, it's a lot like that, where you put down your Versamark or whatever, your embossing glue, and then you add your embossing medium to it and then tap it off. So I'm going to shake. So see, we've got those really pretty little glitter things. So yes, so the German glass glitter is super pretty, and I love it too, Jan. It's just something a little bit different, and I thought for a snow globe, it's perfect. So I'm going to pour this in. Let's add a little bit of silver and then see if we want to add any of the blue moon and what else we can do with that. So I think actually I'm just going to use the snow for right now. If I had some gold, I would probably decorate the windows with it. But I've got this snow glitter from another project. This has some pink in it, but I think that's going to be okay. I think we can do that too. So I'll lay this down, and then let's just kind of get some snow up here on the roof. Again, I won't cover the whole roof. Do you think we should use the snow glitter with the pink, or should we use the silver? Let me know what you think. I'm just going to kind of come here. I don't want it to be a straight line. So I'm kind of dabbing in my glue. And I'll also do a little bit on here, on this tree here. Do I have a vote for silver or the white with the little bit of pink? What do you think? I'm thinking the silver would be really pretty. I think I'm going to do the silver. There are no votes. Okay, let's try that. So I'll put the lid back on this so it doesn't fly everywhere. You vote silver? Okay, great. Thank you, Kara. Let's do the silver then. I'm going to take my little spoon, tap that, and make sure I don't have any blue in it or anything like that. I get a little bit. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to go silver here. And I think I put some up here. It's just very, very sparkly and so, so pretty. I hope that is still tacky, that I got all the places that I wanted to get. Okay. And so I'll take my little paper. Oh yeah, I love the silver. That was really good. So I'm hoping you can see how shiny and sparkly that is. I just love what it does. It just gives it such a beautiful accent for that. And so let me get this back in. And then let's continue with a little bit more silver over here. And then I think let's go ahead and do this little tree up here. And we might even, I don't want to go too much, but I do just want to add. So I'm going to finish this tree here, and then we'll be at a stopping point. I don't want to go too much, right? And so I'm going to go here with just a little bit more of the glue. Again, I think you could use your clear tacky gel or whatever you have. We'll do a little bit, just a little bit right in here, just a little. And then let's go here where we've got some snow. And I'm going to do just a few little dots up here. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can spray with a clear, like a clear coat spray to keep it from tarnishing. But I'm going to be coating the globe part with my dimensional adhesive by Judikins, which will make it look like it's under glass. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. And so I think it's going to be fine. But if you weren't going to be sealing it with anything, then I would recommend doing a clear coat and just a clear spray. And that will keep it from the glass from ever tarnishing, because it is made with a base of silver, and silver can tarnish. So I think that's an important thing to consider in this. All right, I think we are almost done. I love the silver. I'm going to shake that off and make sure I don't have any other colors in here. So I'm going to shake that off, tap it, and that's really pretty. And I think we'll just add a little bit of green in here, and then I think but it's so sparkly, right? I'll put this back in. And then I will probably just dry this a little bit, and then we'll do the dimensional adhesive. I'm not sure what I want to do with this part. I may go ahead and do that in the silver, and then go over it again with the pearl. And that way I can just make that look a little cohesive, more like it's on the base, right? I'm so glad you like it, Jan. All right, let's do, I don't want to do any more silver. I think we're good. But I do want to do just a little bit of green in here. Just again, tapping, not doing a straight line. That way it looks a little more, I'll even come up here at the top, and we'll do a little like that. So let's get a little green on there. Tap out my spoon. See if I went everywhere that I wanted to. Tap out on our page, and we're almost done with the glitter part. Thank you, Doris. I'm going to tap the back of it. And so now we've got just those beautiful sparkly trees. And I'm just going to, while I put this back in, I'm just going to look at it one more time and see. I feel like it needs a little bit more, just a little bit more green right up in here. So just bear with me a second. And I'm just going to pick up, see if I can pick up some of this, or just dump some of this there. And then I think that is going to finish it. Yep. So now it just looks like it's got equal sparkle. If I had a little gold, I would maybe just do like the little lights here. But I think I don't want to overdo it, but I think it's just got beautiful sparkle, and I really, really Love that. So the substrate I'm working on, Doris, is just a 12 by 12 piece of chipboard. You could use cardboard, you could use anything, you know, cut up a box. And I just happened to cut this because this isn't what the frame is going to look like. This is a frame that I have that I'm going to refinish, but it's going to fit in this frame when all is said and done. But the frame will be painted to coordinate better with the globe. So that's what I've got. And so I had it's actually bookboard, and but it's just a very heavy duty chipboard. And so that's what I'm doing. So let me get this glitter back in here. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and paint that one part. I need to make sure that this is really dry, and I can run the dryer over it, and hopefully all the glitter is tacked, and I can feel that it's already tacked here. It's drying really quickly, which is great. But let me get this cleaned up, and in here pick up this glue, this extra bit of glue. And then let's go ahead. I really do think I want to do this in the mercury. And so I'm going to go ahead and paint that out, and then paint it with the pearl over it. And I think that's going to make a really nice difference. So I've got that, and you're very welcome. Thank you, Shannon. I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. All right. So I'm going to just I'm going to go ahead and do this, right? And I'm also, because I came out here and made this a little bit bigger, I want to make that make sense. Before I seal everything, I want it to be good to go. Okay. So I'm just going to fill in this area here, just on the base. And I know I'm losing some of the detail on the base, but I'm okay with that. But I'm not going to crackle that part, I don't think. But I like that because then it just makes this stand out a little bit better without so much white down here. You just always have to stand back and look and think, do I like this? Do I want to do something different? And then you can. So I'm also going to come up here where I have some, since we're doing this, I've got some areas where I am a little over with my pearl. So I just want to go ahead and clean those up a little bit. And I've got a harsh line right there, but I think I'm okay. So I'm going to come in here with this and just kind of clean up my pearl paint, and then I can always go over that. And then, but I definitely want to clean it up so it's not a big mess. I can make the globe a little bit bigger if I want by doing this, but the messy painting would drive me nuts. So if it's not on purpose, then, and I could go over it with the chalk synthesis, but I don't want to. So I'm just going to come around here. And just clean that up a little bit. And we'll go back over that with the pearl. Do you like the base better? I like the base better here, and it'll look good when we put the pearl on it. I'm concentrating, you guys. I'm going to come in here and just bring that together. And I'm going to do the same over here because I kind of want to disguise that harsh line that I have there a little bit. And I will go in with some bone here and clean that up. But I'm going to just dry this really quickly, and then we'll put the pearl paint on it. And then I'll see if I'll just show you the product that I'm going to be using, because I want to make sure that that all of this glitter is completely dry. And yes, thank you, Kara. I appreciate that. So see, I'm blowing around and I only have the tiniest bit of tiny bits of glitter, tiny, like a few, like maybe just a couple that are, maybe the glue was too thick or something like that, but it's stuck. So that is really, really, really good. Okay, I think that's dry enough for me to go over it with the pearls. So let's do that. Let me get another brush, and okay, I'll use this one. Then we'll fill that in. I really need a bigger brush. Just filling that in, and it just softens it and gives it that shimmer. And you know, I may stand back and look at it tomorrow and say, what do I want to do? What does this need? Sometimes it's really helpful to step away from your projects, because I had a general idea of what I wanted to do. But like down here, it would have been good to tear the paper, but I didn't. So I'm going to want to look and think about what's the best way to disguise that. I could put some glitter down there. I could put a little mold down there, or a little salt wash. Salt wash is great for hiding a multitude of oops. And so I will probably do that. I don't know if you can see it, but I didn't tear my paper down here at the bottom. And so it is a definite, it's definitely where my paper ended. So I'm not happy with that. So I will probably do a little salt wash in here. Hi, Jody. How are you? It's nice to see you. Thank you. So you see, it's just got that little silvery, but it's shimmery. And so I like that. So we'll go here where we went over the silver, and then I'll show you the product that I'm going to use to fill in the actual glass part. Just going over this. I don't mind a little shadow, but I want to soften that. It still gives it enough of a shadow that you're not losing that detail. And it's all shimmery. How many of you have used the cloche stencil? Or I'm sorry, the globe stencil? And did you get the Winter Blocks paper? I would love to know. Let me know. I think I have used the cloche many times, but I think this may be my very first time using the globe stencil. And I say that because the stencil was way too clean. And so I didn't think I remembered doing anything with it. I'll have to go back and look. But I thought this stencil is way too clean. I don't think I've ever done a project with it. That's how I can tell, is whether or not my stencil has any paint on it or something. Thank you, Jody. I'm glad you're going to try it. This was just the one that I haven't. And I've still got an edge over there that isn't sticking. So I'm going to have to address that. But I think sometimes it's really good just to step away and see what you want to do. Okay. So guys, this is kind of where we're at. What I like is, I do like that I can see some of the colors that are in the design. It feels like I can see that back here. So it's like, it's not just a plain white background. And I think that I do like that, and I might shine it up a little bit. This is all going to dry, and I've got some edges to deal with, and I'm probably going to do a little bit of, you'll probably see some texture on this face, because I don't like this harsh line where I didn't tear my paper. And so I am going to probably do a salt wash texture over that just to disguise that. That'll be really helpful in doing that. That's always a great way. Anytime you can use like some modeling paste or something like that, there are often ways that you can just get around something. But you can see, like, depending on how you look at it in the light, you've got your shimmer and your glitter, and then you also have the shimmer of this, but we still have the shadow. So I think that's pretty good. And so, yes, Doris, you do need the paper because it's got like the 6 designs. So you could do 6 of these and do, just some really great snow globes. And I think that would be lovely, for the holidays. And so, anyway, that is where we are at. And I'm going to pull this up and switch, and we're going to go from there. So I got to stop, you guys. I got to just see. I need to step away and see what I want to do. But let me show you the product that I'm going to use. You see me use it many, many, many times. Okay. So this is the diamond glaze, and you can get it off Amazon. And, but this is a dimensional adhesive, and it's crystal clear. It's very, very thick. So if I'm wanting to create like an under glass type look, then I am definitely going to do several coats. And I think that they do take a while to dry in between coats, but it's beautiful. And it does. So the only place I'm going to put this is in this globe area here, so that is truly looking like it's under glass. And yeah, so I'll keep working with it, and then I will show you the finished project, and I'll be sure, at least in the comments, to tell you what I did to fix the things that I don't like or that I'm not really excited about, because that happens to all of us, right? But I do want to do something to the thing that just is really sticking out to me that's going to drive me insane is the harsh line where I didn't do that. So yes, diamond glaze is amazing. So I'm so glad that you like it too. Canvas would be beautiful with that. I don't think you could wash it because of the glitter, depending on what you sealed it with, I think. But you don't always have to do the glitter either, right? And let's see. We have diamond glaze. Yes. And so the diamond glaze will go on there, and I'll address my little issues and then do my frame, and I'll be sure to share the finished project with you. Thank you so much for joining me for another week and another project. I love creating with all of you. It makes it so much more fun than creating by myself. And I always appreciate your input and your votes, and hope you enjoyed the project. If you watch on replay and you have any questions, let me know. And again, if you're looking for the glass glitter, you can go to vintagerevivaldesignco.com under shop and German glass glitter, and you'll see the colors. I don't have every color yet, but I do have about 7 of them, and they're great for the holidays. So anyway, that's it, guys. All right. Happy creating. I will see you on Roycycled Treasures again next week. And I hope wherever you are that you're all doing well. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.